kuna elimu vile tutaweza kusaidia.
Now let's talk about Kenya's diplomatic place in the world. Now, from the arrest of Ugandan opposition leader Dr. Kizza Besigye in Kenya to reports of Sudan's rapid support forces planning a political conference in the country, President William Ruto's administration is facing growing pressure over its foreign policy. Critics argue that these developments are undermining Kenya's diplomatic standing. Bramwell Bwire is in Kisumu and spoke to foreign policy expert Davis Okombo on the implications and future of the country's foreign policy.
Well, so much has been happening in the country regarding the arrest of Dr. Kizza Besigye, leading to the planned protest that are scheduled to happen here on Friday. All these pointing fingers as President William Ruto, they're saying that he is going against the foreign policies, going against the human rights policies by allowing such a leader to be arrested in this particular country. But to gain more insight on exactly what is happening here, I'm being joined by Davis Okombo, a governance expert, an expert on foreign policy, to shed us some light on exactly what is happening and the repercussion of such activities in the country. Okombo, a lot is happening in the country. What is the foreign repercussion on these activities happening in the country?
One of the key objectives of Kenya's foreign policy is to promote regional and international cooperation and integration. Therefore, any effort that is being made at undermining the very, very values and foundations of international cooperation undermines our international standing as a sovereign country that respects the rule of law and order. The arrest and subsequent incarceration of Dr. Besigye is a dark spot in foreign policy in Kenya. Kenya used to be a safe refuge for people that were fleeing political, problems in different countries, and they could find refuge in Kenya. But we have a state now where those same people are illegally and unlawfully arrested, kidnapped, and taken back to their countries in Uganda and in Turkey. And we stand to say, no, this should not happen. Secondly, the RFS of Sudan being hosted in Kenya is a misstep in diplomacy. RFS was once the militia group called Janjaweed in Sudan, which President Bashir used to kill people, to commit genocide, crimes against humanity in Darfur. And here they are being cheered up, being congratulated, being given a platform to declare a parallel government. Why can't they do so in Khartoum or in Darfur where they are? As we speak, the BBC reports that 200 people have been killed in the last 3 days by RFS in West Nile. And here we are celebrating people who have the blood of Sudanese Africans on their hands. This is a misstep, and I call upon the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to take steps to correct Kenya's foreign policy. Otherwise, we will remain a laughing stock in this continent, and that is why we have lost even the AUC because of the mistakes that the Foreign Ministry has made.
Thank you, Davis Okombo. I've always been an integral person when it comes to giving matters governance, giving matters politics. He has always been a pillar that we always rely on when we want some expertise on what is happening in the country. That's exactly the conversation that is happening in the country, in the East African Commission and in IGAD region with regards to Sudan issue that has always been temperamental, has always been an issue that is attracting attention from the global stage. From here in Kisumu, back to the studio.
Thank you, Bramwell, for that report. And yes, indeed, it is a matter that we continue to follow on its development, especially after that statement from Sudan. We shall be keeping you updated. Now, the United Nations Office of Counter